You've been lied to. Discipline isn't virtue. It's survival training for economic livestock. The fisherman wasn't wise. He was trapped. And you're celebrating your own cage. Everyone applauds the fisherman. The wise old man who shows up every day, rain or shine, throwing his net into the same water. They call it discipline. They call it admirable. But let's identify what he actually is: a man with no options. The fisherman doesn't come to the river because he's disciplined. He comes because if he doesn't, his family starves. That's not virtue. That's survival with no alternative. He has zero leverage, zero optionality, zero power. He's completely at the mercy of weather, fish population, and market prices. His discipline is just poverty management with poetic framing. This is the trick embedded in every self-improvement story. They present submission as enlightenment. They take someone who's trapped by circumstance and rebrand their lack of choice as moral superiority. The fisherman can't stop coming. He doesn't have investments, passive income, or stored resources. His consistency isn't strategic, it's mandatory. Now look at yourself. When you romanticize this story, you're being conditioned to accept the same cage. They're training you to show up every day, produce consistently, never question the system, and call it personal growth. You're learning to be a reliable asset for structures you don't control. The powerful don't practice discipline this way. They build systems where their preferences become automatic. They create leverage so their presence becomes optional. Discipline without optionality is just domestication. The bamboo tree parable is psychological warfare disguised as inspiration. A farmer waters a seed for 4 years with zero visible results. Then suddenly, it grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. Beautiful metaphor. Catastrophic strategy. Here's what they don't tell you. Those are 4 years of your biological prime. 4 years of compound interest you'll never recover. For years where someone with actual strategy is building networks, acquiring assets, and positioning themselves in high-leverage environments. While you're watering your invisible roots, they're already tall. The bamboo story teaches you to accept indefinite suffering with no feedback mechanism. No data, no adjustment, no pivot, just blind faith that someday your consistency will pay off. This is how you waste a decade in the wrong degree, wrong relationship, wrong city, wrong career, because you've been conditioned to confuse stubbornness with wisdom. Strategic patience is real, but it requires validation milestones. The elite don't water seeds blindly. They test, measure, and kill projects ruthlessly when data suggests failure. They understand opportunity cost. They know that time spent on low-probability bets is time stolen from high-probability dominance. The bamboo psyop keeps you passive during your highest energy years. It makes you suspicious of your own doubt. It reframes your valid concerns as lack of discipline. Meanwhile, those who understand power are moving fast, testing multiple vectors, and abandoning what doesn't work. Patience without optionality is just hope. And hope is not a strategy. The story presents you with 2 options: chaotic motivation or rigid discipline. This is a controlled framework designed to limit your thinking. Both options keep you inside the same cage. One makes you an unstable slave, the other a reliable one. Motivation is treated as weakness, discipline as strength. But here's what neither produces: power. The fisherman has discipline. He's also broke and trapped. Ethan gets discipline. He becomes respected in a town where respect means conformity. Neither man controls their environment. Neither has optionality. They've just optimized their submission. The truly powerful operate on a third axis entirely: strategic volatility. They don't fetishize routine. They break their own rules when circumstances shift. They disappear when presence offers no advantage. They move chaotically to others, but systematically to themselves. Their discipline is invisible because it serves acquisition, not performance. Watch the elites. They don't post morning routine content. They don't broadcast their habits. Why? Because predictability is vulnerability. When your patterns are known, you're controllable. When your schedule is public, you're targetable. The fisherman's discipline makes him easy to exploit. Everyone knows exactly where he'll be at dawn. Real power requires the ability to be disciplined and break discipline instantly when strategic value appears elsewhere. Flexibility, not consistency, determines survival in high-stakes environments. The motivation-discipline binary is designed to make you choose between 2 forms of weakness. Neither the impulsive nor the rigid inherit power. Only the adaptive do. Let's examine what the story carefully avoids mentioning. The fisherman owns nothing. Not the river, not the fish, not the distribution network, not the market price. He owns a net and his labor. That's it. His discipline doesn't create leverage. It maintains his position at the bottom of the value chain. Every single day, he exchanges time and effort for immediate survival. He has no equity, no compounding assets, no escape velocity. His consistency ensures he'll be doing this exact thing until his body fails. They present this as wisdom. It's actually a life sentence. Now contrast this with power. Those who control the river don't need to show up. Those who own the boats hire fishermen. Those who control distribution set prices. Those who own the market take percentages while sleeping. They built systems where other people's discipline generates their wealth. The fisherman's story is a warning, not inspiration. It shows exactly what happens when you confuse effort with strategy. Hard work without ownership is just sophisticated slavery. Discipline without equity is volunteering for exploitation. Consistency without leverage is burning your biological prime for someone else's profit. Throughout history, the disciplined masses have always served the strategic few. Farmers show up daily, landowners collect. Soldiers follow orders, generals write history. Workers clock in, shareholders multiply wealth. The system needs your discipline. It depends on your consistency. That's precisely why they romanticize it. The fisherman isn't free. He's just accepted his chains and called it character. Ethan's transformation is sold as success. Read it again carefully. He becomes one of the most respected people in the town. Not the richest, not the most powerful, not the most free. Respected by the town. The same small town environment he never escaped. He traded his authentic desire for external validation. He killed the version of himself that wanted something great and replaced it with a version that wakes up early and studies on schedule. The town respects him now because he's predictable, manageable, no longer a threat to their social equilibrium. This is identity death disguised as self-improvement. Ethan didn't become more himself. He became what the system needed him to be. His discipline didn't liberate him. It integrated him into the existing hierarchy in a slightly higher position. He went from lazy dreamer to productive citizen. The structure 1. Understand the difference between reputation and power. Reputation is what others think of you. It's controlled externally. You can be respected while completely dependent. Power is the ability to impose your will on reality regardless of what anyone thinks. Ethan has reputation. The fisherman has reputation. Neither has power. The truly dangerous don't seek respect from the town. They leave the town, or by the town, or become so valuable the town needs them more than they need it. They build asymmetric relationships where their absence creates crisis. Ethan's discipline made him valuable to the town's economy, but he's still just another worker bee with better habits. He optimized his role within a system he never questioned. Discipline without direction is just expensive obedience. Here's the framework they don't want you to understand. Focus on leverage multiplication, not habit optimization. Every hour you invest should compound. Every skill should stack with previous skills. Every action should create optionality, not obligation. Stop thinking in routines. Start thinking in positions. The fisherman has a routine. The river owner has a position. Ethan developed habits. Someone else owns the institution where his habits generate value. Routines make you reliable. Positions make you irreplaceable. These are not the same. Build asymmetric advantages. Learn skills that combine unusually technical capability plus negotiation plus network access. Acquire assets that generate without your presence. Equity, IP, systems, attention. Create situations where your no is more valuable than most people's yes. This is sovereign discipline. Actions that increase your freedom of movement, not your consistency of servitude. Strategic unpredictability is a weapon. When they can't predict you, they can't price you. When they can't price you, they can't control you. The elite maintain optionality at all times. Multiple income streams, multiple skill sets, multiple identities, multiple exit routes. They can disappear from any situation that stops serving them. Your goal isn't to become the best fisherman. It's to never need the river. Not to master the routine, but to build systems where your preferences become inevitable. Not to be disciplined within someone else's game, but to change the rules entirely. True power is measured by what you can refuse, not what you can endure. This is where we separate. Most who heard the fisherman's story will internalize it exactly as intended. They'll wake up early, build routines, show up consistently, become respected in their towns. They'll spend decades perfecting their discipline while remaining fundamentally powerless. The system will reward them with just enough to keep them committed, but never enough to leave. You're being given a choice right now that you won't get again. Continue down the path of romanticizing effort without ownership, or recognize this story for what it actually is, a containment protocol. The fisherman's lesson keeps you fishing. It keeps you showing up to systems designed to extract your prime years. The elite don't practice discipline. They engineer inevitability. They don't show up every day to the same river. They own multiple rivers, hire fishermen, and collect percentages while they sleep. Their version of discipline is invisible because it's focused on acquisition and positioning, not performance and reputation. Here's your directive. Stop optimizing your prison cell. Stop building habits that make you valuable to structures you don't control. Stop confusing consistency with strategy. Every disciplined action you take should increase your optionality, not decrease it. Every routine should build leverage, not dependence. The bamboo tree metaphor was designed to make you wait. Strategic operators don't wait. They move, test, acquire, and dominate. By the time your roots are ready, they've already built forests. You were never meant to be the fisherman. You were meant to own the water. You were never meant to be the fisherman. You were meant to own the water.